Hey guys, it's Chey. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and if you're not, hey boo. So for today's video, I wanted to do something fun, and we are doing an eyeshadow palette tag. So I have a list of questions in front of me. This is not an original idea. This is actually inspired by Angelica Nyquist. I was scrolling on YouTube and saw this palette tag that she did. So I was like, you know what? Let me go through my eyeshadows and see what I would do for each question. I have about 13 questions to go through, so if you guys like it here, if you like my vibe, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this eyeshadow palette tag. Now, for this eyeshadow palette tag, some of these palettes are unfortunately discontinued. I will have it listed in the description box of the palettes that are discontinued. Before we get into the questions, I just want to tell you guys what is on my eyes today. I am using the P. Louise Wedding Wish Extra Large palette. Now they did come out with an even bigger version of that, but I don't have that. This pretty much is your one-stop shop for eyeshadow. It literally has shimmers, mattes, everything that you could need in this palette. You have a white all the way to a dark black right here. And this is what I'm wearing. I did pretty much like a basic neutral eye, and then the shimmer I'm wearing is this one right here called Love. I personally love using this, especially when I'm doing bridal makeup. This is literally a bridal palette, and I just feel like this brings good vibes with the names that are in this palette, and the shimmers are fantastic. So that is what's on the eyes. The blush is a Patrick Ta blush in She's Vibrant. I love a good coral blush, and I really like how this makeup turned out today. Unfortunately, I did not film it. If you guys really like this look and request it in the comments, I will definitely recreate it. So let's get into the first question. The first question is your all-time favorite palette. And this was very, very hard for me. My all-time favorite eyeshadow palette is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I'm not sure if this palette is available, but this pretty much has your neutral tones, which I love. And what I love about this palette is that it's marked crease, transition, deepening, and then you get an inner and outer corner shimmer. You get a cream blush, which is a beautiful terracotta color that literally is perfect for every day. And then you get this beautiful highlighter. I love that with this palette, you do get a lot of depth with this. These mattes blend like butter, and the depth of this palette is perfect for me. Honestly, I love both of the shimmer shades. Honestly, this shade right here has my literal soul. Hopefully this palette is not discontinued, but in the event that it is, I do have a backup. And it is another Natasha Denona palette. This is going to be the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. And this is what the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette looks like. It's not as deep as the Glam, but this one is pretty dark and you can build it up, but I wish that this was a little bit deeper. You do get a lot of range with this. You get some lighter tones, some transition shades, and the shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. The Natasha Denona formula is very beginner friendly. It pretty much just blends like butter. Anyone can use this no matter your skill level. I am definitely a shimmer girl, so you are going to notice with a lot of these palettes that they do have a mix of shimmer and matte because I need all the glitz and glam. The next question is, what is your new favorite palette? And I'm going to have to give it to the Glamlight Wonka palette. I just really love how this palette performed. I'm usually not one that hops on a bandwagon, but once I got to try this out, I could see what the hype is about this palette. First of all, the packaging when it comes to Glamlight is A1. It's literally a chocolate bar, and I am a sucker for chocolate. I love chocolate cake, chocolate ice cream, chocolate, okay? So I really love that this is a chocolate bar. And inside this palette, it's literally speechless. Like, look at those colors. Now, normally I am not a purple lover, but the purples and the browns in here just go so well together. and the shimmers are so beautiful. Let me just swatch a couple. Look at how stunning these shimmers are. I do wish that this coffee cream shade was a little bit darker, but overall this is a well curated palette and it's become my new favorite eyeshadow palette. Now, with having a lot of eyeshadow palettes, there are some that are just sentimental to me, and the next one I feel like is no surprise because I just talk about this palette all the time and it happens to be one of my favorites, and that is going to be the Be Perfect Carnival 4, the Antidote palette. I actually won this palette in a giveaway and it was during a very dark time for me. I had a miscarriage and unfortunately I was pregnant with twins and they did not make it. I had no clue I was pregnant, and so I was really down in the dumps, and I found this creator on YouTube. Her name is Tatanisha Sankar and her looks are just so vibrant, so colorful, and it was just like a breath of fresh air for me because everyone was just doing the same soft glam looks. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong, I love a good soft glam look, but I was just looking for something different, and she was doing a giveaway and I won it, okay? And it's also very sentimental to me because I can now call her my best friend. I literally talk to her almost every day. I just learned so much from her. We connect on so many levels and I'm just so happy to have her in my life. And because of her, I really got into doing more colorful makeup. I'm not a stranger to UK makeup, but I was never heavily involved in it like how she was. Be Perfect and their Stacey Marie collabs have the best pigmented eyeshadows. I'm such a neutral tone lover and I just love fall makeup, and this is literally the epitome of fall and glam. This palette literally blends so beautifully. It is so pigmented, so a little bit definitely goes a long way with this palette, which I personally love because having deeper skin, I find that when I play with color, sometimes the colors in the pan do not translate the same on the eye because I have melanin skin. So these are super pigmented. They're definitely gonna stain your eye. So if you're scared of eyeshadow, then this is not the palette for you, but this one just holds a lot of memories for me. Now, I am a sucker for a good eyeshadow palette, and over the years there have been a lot of eyeshadow palettes that have come out. And the next question is, what is the most underrated eyeshadow palette? And for me, I feel like a lot of people slept on these launches. Starting with the One Size Beauty. This is the Patrick Star Visionary eyeshadow palette, and this palette is so 2016 nostalgia, except it has such a good formula. This is unfortunately a discontinued item. I know that for a fact. And I'm so sad. I'm so sad that this was discontinued. This palette was really slept on. I love that you get the neutral tones. You get a little green, a pop of blue. That era was definitely known for the pop of blue. I love this Rebel Gray shade. It's like a periwinkle shimmer. It's not super shimmery, but it gives you enough for a pop. And then these mattes are so gorgeous and super pigmented. I love that you can do cool tone. I love that you can do smoky, a warm bronzy eye. And I feel like this palette just gives that Kim K bronzy eye look, the Makeup by Mario with the pop of blue. I feel like this palette did not get the hype that it deserved at all. Another palette that I feel was underrated is this Made by Mitchell Space Cowboy palette. Now, I understand that Made by Mitchell is a UK brand and he doesn't really do too many eyeshadow palettes, but when I saw this, I was like, add to cart. Look at how gorgeous this eyeshadow palette cover is. It's so cute and I feel like it's very innovative. I love the size. It's not too big. And then the inside, y'all, look at this. Look at the pan size. They're literally huge. For me, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm very much into astrology, and I feel like this just screams like Sagittarius, okay? You get some neutrals, like it's kind of predictable, but not, because you still get those safe colors, and then you get all of these pops of color, and having these pops of pink in this eyeshadow palette literally screams me. So for me, this is perfect. You even get a black in here. You get a nude shade as well, and y'all, the Made by Metro formula is really, really stunning. I feel like y'all slept on this palette. How could you let this be discontinued? The next question is not a favorite, but you can't get rid of it, and that is going to be the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. It is giving ethereal. It's so pretty, and wait till you see the inside of this palette. Look at this. It is so pretty. Now, y'all know I'm really not a purple eyeshadow girl, but when I look at this palette, it's so beautiful. The shimmers are really pretty, but it is very much a pinky purple, purpley mauve color story. I just love how this palette looks. I will never get rid of this palette. It is too gorgeous. Since we talked about underrated eyeshadow palettes, let's talk about the overrated ones. And in my opinion, these from Makeup by Mario are overrated, okay? Starting with the Master Mattes. This one, I get the convenience of it, but for me, it's not really my go-to. I just never like how these tones look like on me. Even when I use like more of the neutral tones or warmer colors, they just pull more cool tone on me. I'm like, I need it to show up like actually brown. And unfortunately with this palette, it just doesn't do that for me. I do like that it is a range of light to deep colors, and it's supposed to be based around skin tones. But if you're wanting my recommendation for an all matte palette, I'm gonna give it to the Be Perfect Ultimates palette. This is what the Be Perfect Ultimates palette looks like. As you can see, it is a lot bigger, so if you're really not into such a big palette, then maybe the Makeup by Mario palette will be better for you. But for me, you get so much more variety, and these colors show up true to color, and you still get that range of white to black. And these colors just show up so much better on me, and I just love the undertones on. As you can see, I pretty much can use like anywhere on the palette. Even his Ethereal Eyes palette, yes, it is a stunning palette, but as you can see, it really lacks the range. Like these browns are pretty much like transition shades for me. There's nothing, this palette doesn't give me any depth. The shimmers are really pretty, but it's really nothing spectacular. So unfortunately, I just think that the Makeup by Mario palettes are overrated. The next question is, what is your favorite collab palette? And this was really hard, okay? There are a lot of brands doing collaborations, but for me, when it comes to collaborations, I feel like there were just 3 palettes that really stood out to me, and I just had to include them. I know you're supposed to pick one, but a girl can't choose, okay? Brands really did their big one when they collabed with influencers and let them have creative freedom to just curate beautiful color stories. The first palette I'm going to give it to is going to be the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. Okay, now not only is this palette so nostalgic, especially for besties, but the color story, so gorgeous, and the formula is really easy to blend. I swear, Dose of Colors does make pretty good eyeshadow palettes. The next palettes are kind of on the same color story, but not, okay? One is from a very high-end brand, and the other one is more affordable. We're gonna start with the more affordable brand, and that is going to be the Perception palette from Makeup Shayla and ColourPop. I absolutely love this color story. You get some warm tones, bronzy colors. you get that pop of blue and green. That was very much in during around this era. I just love the way Makeup Shayla does her eyeshadow looks. It's very dark, deep, smoky, but then because we are similar in tone, we kind of like the same colors on our skin tone. So I was really into like Strut and Slay and Spill the Tea. Those were probably my most used shades from this palette because I was just in my rose gold era. The names are so cute in this palette, so I had to include this as well. And the last eyeshadow palette that is my favorite collab palette is of course the Anastasia Jackie Aina palette. This, look at the packaging, okay? It is iridescent, it has snakeskin, it has Jackie Aina's logo on it. And this is what it looks like. I'm gonna try to be gentle with it because this purple shade is starting to crumble because I've had it for so long. I really love that she also did like this blue brown called Sponsored. I absolutely love this color right here called Zam. That is my favorite. And you get those purples, those pinks, some deeper colors. This more taupey purple I actually really love. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it's so pretty. You can literally mix any of these colors and still come out with a bomb eyeshadow look. Anastasia and Jackie really did their big one when it came to this collab. Now we're on to the next question, which is, what is your favorite palette from 2024? My favorite palette from 2024 is also a collab palette, but this one is still available, okay? And this is the Blend Bunny times Ellis Atlantis eyeshadow palette. As you can see, this is a huge palette, but wait till you see the inside. This palette is absolutely humongous, but literally it's almost the only palette you will ever need. This palette is full of color, so you do get some neutrals, okay, but you have every pop of color you could think of. It is a beautiful rainbow color story. You can stick to the warmer tones for like fall, you know, you could do some cool tone looks here. You do get some grays and smoky colors, and then you get some shimmer iridescence in the middle, which I love. They all have different reflex. Some are blue, purple, gold, or yellow, and just like a white. So I feel like this is such a perfect color story. For me, this was definitely a standout palette for the year of 2024. So the next question is, what is a palette that you didn't expect to love? And if you know me, you know that I absolutely hate blue eyeshadow. I hate blue eyeshadow with a passion. I want to love it so much on me, but I just feel like it just doesn't look right on me. But when this palette came out, I literally was so intrigued by the color story. And that's gonna be the Glam Light Halloween 2 eyeshadow palette. So this is a Halloween palette with the Michael Myers. It says, welcome to Haddonfield. And I am not a spooky girl at all, okay? I do not watch scary movies. I'm very much a scaredy cat. But this palette, first of all, another Glam Light palette. So you already know the packaging, A1. It comes in its own collector's box, and then inside this is the palette. Look at this. It's literally, what is it? A Venticular Motion palette cover, which I love. And then the inside is absolutely gorgeous, okay? Now, I am not a blue eyeshadow lover at all, but these colors just work, okay? It kind of reminded me of the Glam Light Frosted Flakes palette, which I never got because I'm not a blue eyeshadow lover, but these just work. Maybe it's something about the neutral tones and the taupes. And I love that the blues are more shimmer. So I'm more inclined to use like a shimmery eyeshadow than a matte one. But I love that they included like a matte blue and like more like navy. I also like this cool tone color right here called Guilty. It's so pretty. And this color story, I was not expecting to love on me because, like I said, I have my favorite neutral colors with the pops of color that I can just add on my lid. So I've really grown to love this palette. Now that we're talking about something I didn't expect to love, we're gonna talk about the palettes that actually spark joy into my soul. I couldn't pick one, so I picked three, okay? They're all discontinued, unfortunately. But these all, when I look at them, they just make me happy. Starting with the more affordable palette. Now, this was a holiday release, I believe, from Morphe. So don't ever sleep on their holiday releases. They're actually really good. This is the 35X Big Primpin palette, okay? I love the name Big Primpin, okay? And it's pink, it's sparkly, rose gold. It's literally me in a palette. And the inside is a rose gold lover's dream, okay? You get those pinky tones, mauvey tones, some deep browns, and lighter pink tones. If there was a palette that describes me, it would definitely be this palette. It is all my favorite neutrals. For me, I can never decide on what color blush to wear, so I always do like pink and peach, which is like coral mixed together. I feel like this has that. It has like pink, peach, coral, brown. This palette really just brings me joy. It's like looking in the mirror with this palette. The next palette that makes me happy is kind of on that same ballpark, but it's very different. And that is going to be the Anastasia Rizy palette, okay? As you can see, it is pink. It is sparkly. The words Rizy are in rose gold. It's literally me. And Rizy is a Nicki Minaj lover. I am a Nicki Minaj lover as well. I love her music. So you get those neutral tones, you get a lot of pink, you get some bronzy, and this color is called Gemini. But apparently Sag and Geminis are supposed to be like besties. So I do like they included some glittery shades in here. I think Liddy and Gemini are the only two glittery shades, and this palette just, it's so stunning. How can you be mad at a pink glitter packaging, okay? The inner girly girl inside of me just jumps for joy when I see this palette. And the last palette that brings me joy is also a glam light palette, and it's also another chocolate themed palette. This is the Glam Light Hershey's palette. Like I said, I am a chocolate lover, so I love chocolate. So this just brings nostalgia, and I just love looking at it. Inside, this is like my perfect neutral palette. The colors are so beautiful. I love that you get more of those coffee tones, and it really works because you do have a mix of cool and warm tones, and the shimmers in here are absolutely stunning. Those are the palettes that bring me the most joy in my collection. We're on to the second to last question, and that is going to be, what was the first palette that I used in 2025? I am subscribed to the P. Louise budget box, so the first palette that I used in 2025 was the Expensive Taste palette. What's cool about this palette is that it is literally a book. So you get 3 pages of eyeshadow. I believe that I got this in my advent calendar. I'm not sure though, but I think so. I get so much P. Louise, I can't keep up. What I love is that they did this by like light to dark. So the first page is all like for lighter skin tones, lighter colors. Then for the next palette, you have all your warm browns. This is so beautiful. And then the last page is all your deep dark colors, and with each page you get a mix of matte and shimmer. It's a little bit harder to use when filming, but on my own downtime, it's just fun to just bounce back between the pages. So I love this style of packaging, and I just feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck. And the last question is, if you could choose a collab, who would I choose? So for me, I'm definitely gonna pick my bestie, Tatanisha Sankar, to do a collab. And if she was to do a collab, I would love to see her do one with Blend Bunny. She just does these incredible looks, and I would love to see what a Tatanisha curated palette would look like, because the way her mind thinks is literally crazy. She's always trying to mix colors that normally don't go together, and she creates absolute magic. I would absolutely love to see that. Another creator that I would love to see do a collab is Tatiana Anissa. I would love to see her do a collab with Glamlight. She loves her some Glamlight down. Or I would love for her to do a collab with Made by Mitchell. Now, I have some Made by Mitchell products, but she literally has so much Made by Mitchell. I feel like she could do like a Louisiana inspired makeup palette, and that would literally be a dream. I actually forgot a question. So the last palette is going to be, what is the newest palette to your collection? As of today, the newest palette that literally just got delivered is going to be the Glamlight Garfield palette. This is an older launch, so I wanted to just grab it before it's gone completely. I believe you're still able to get this on the Glamlight website or on TikTok. Look at the packaging on here, it's so cute, and then the color story is like more berry and warm. So, and I really like the shimmers in here, so I thought this would be really fun to play with. So this is the newest palette. Now, the newest palette that just launched that I have is gonna be from a brand that I personally have never tried, and that is going to be from Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is the Simply Posh Gingerbread Bakery eyeshadow palette, and it is so cute. I love gingerbreads for like Christmas, and it's pink, it has lollipops, it kind of matches my tree in the background. I love it. I love the vibes. And this is what the inside looks like. So as you can see, you get your neutrals, you get your pops of color, you get some pastels, and the shimmers look so beautiful. I love that they did go from light to dark. What I love about this is that this is not your traditional Christmas palette. It's fun, it's lively, it just gives youth and vibrancy. It just makes me want to play with color. I feel like with these colors, they're kind of similar. So since you can't get your hands on the Amrezy one, I feel like this Simply Posh Cosmetics is a fun palette to have. And that is officially all of the palettes in this eyeshadow palette tag. Let me know what palettes you are excited for, or if you have them in your collection. I want to get more use out of my palettes, whether they're discontinued or not. So stay tuned to see these palettes in future videos. And thank you guys so much for staying with me to the end of this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.